Welcome to BizWire. I'm Joseph Nordstrom in Beijing. China has just made an unprecedented investment to feed its people. In the Ukraine, what was once the breadbasket of the Soviet Union, a Chinese state-run company is investing up to $2.6 billion to lease nearly 7.5 million acres of farmland over 50 years. The Xinjiang Production and Construction Corporation, or XPCC, said they signed the deal in June with Ukraine's leading agricultural company, KSG Agro. The deal will initially allow China to use about 250,000 acres of what was described as high-quality farmland, mainly for growing crops and raising pigs. The South China Morning Post says the move is a significant step in China's recent efforts to encourage domestic companies to farm overseas as China's food demand grows in pace with its cities. A statement said the farming project was an important part of China's food security program and a response to the central government's strategy of outsourcing the production of food to farms overseas. China has already invested substantially in agricultural projects overseas in Brazil, Argentina, and in Africa, but this will be by far its largest move yet. The produce grown will be sold to two Chinese state-owned grain conglomerates at preferential prices. XPCC, also known as Bingtuan, is a quasi-military organization established in northwest China's Xinjiang in the late 1950s to reclaim farmland and consolidate defenses against the Soviet Union. This project will allow XPCC to expand and provide jobs abroad for Chinese workers and boost their incomes. Senior researcher in agriculture at Onbound Consulting in Beijing, Ding Li, said although China's domestic output of grain has grown for 10 straight years, demand for imported grain has grown even faster. Last year, China imported nearly 14 million tons of cereals, an increase of more than 150% from 2011. Ding says the trend is making it nearly impossible to fulfill Beijing's ambition for the country to remain 90% self-sufficient in food production. Ding says as urbanization speeds up, consumption has led to greater food demand and domestic grain prices have stayed above global prices. Ding says China has been importing more and more grain, and the Ukraine is one of the world's top 10 wheat exporters. A specialist in international agricultural trade at China Agricultural University, Professor Tianzhi Hong, says the Ukraine offers a number of advantages for XPCC, such as excellent soil and experience in international trade. Tian said the XPCC investment would also help upgrade farm technology in the Ukraine, which he says is still relatively basic. XPCC is also investing in the Ukraine in other ways. It signed a memorandum earlier this month with the Autonomous Republic of Crimea on infrastructure investments in the peninsula, including an expressway, a government housing project, and a bridge across the Strait of Kerch. Last year, the Export-Import Bank of China approved a $3 billion agricultural loan to the Ukraine. A fund for joint construction projects was also set up, with contributions of $600 million expected this year. So with China's growing appetites and disappearing farmland, we could see more major deals like this coming down the line. You're watching BizWire on the Blue Ocean Network. All of our stories can be seen on our website, BONTV/biz-wire. In just a second, we'll continue with more insight into the big picture of China's economy.